Hi, everyone. This is Denise O'Malley with You Define Wellness, and I am with another one of our providers today doing a chat, and I'd like to introduce everyone to Karly Stein, the Love Coach. Hi, Karly. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
Good. So, the Love Coach, can you tell us a little bit about what it is that you do with that?
Yeah, I know it sounds kind of broad, but that's what makes it pretty magical. I help people in relationship, sexuality, and dating primarily. My background is pretty strong in all three areas, so that's why I choose to focus on that.
Awesome. So, when you're talking, we're working with a client. I'm always curious as to how you work with them. But let's start with, how would somebody initially sit back and say, you know, I think I need a love coach? I mean, that's not going to happen. So what is it that drives them to you?
Right. So I mostly work with or start out working with singles who are just frustrated and don't exactly know what is wrong when it comes to dating. So, and I usually categorize them as the nice guy that's always in the friend zone or the independent woman who's continuously running off men.
So, I can see that I've been married for a very long time. So the dating scene was a long time ago. But, I remember how frustrating that was. And today it's a whole lot different. You've got the pressures with all these websites and the dating that goes on, and with, the active lives that everybody is leading. So when someone comes to you and they're struggling with, as you said, getting out of the friend zone and into the relationship zone, the more than a friend relationship. So is it just talking? Do you have exercises that you do with it? Just kind of paint a picture of what it might look like.
Sure. So I have a program, my primary program right now. So things might be changing up in the next couple year or so, but we'll get to that towards the end of our talk here. But my primary program right now is called Finding Love, and it's a 4-step process. So I help someone get really clear about what they're looking for, and what they're looking for, because some people want to get married and some people just want a companion for the weekend. It just, depends on where they're at. So I help them get really clear about that. And then we get it, kind of analyze it and go, okay, well, are you doing what you need to do to attract this person? Then we help break down the brick wall, is what I like to call it. So a lot of people, when they've had bad relationships, become emotionally unavailable. So we break down that brick wall so you can be emotionally available to attract someone else who is emotionally available. And the third step is moving past any fears of getting into a relationship. So a lot of people feel like they'll lose their sense of independence getting into a relationship, or they're not sure exactly, they don't want to lose their time or their freedom. So we break through some of those fears. And then the fourth step, which is the most fun, is learning more about the opposite sex so you can create a rock solid relationship.
That's awesome. Now, when my experience with coaching and counseling in the past has been, it goes on and on and on and on. It sounds to me like, because you have these 4 steps, that somebody can actually move through it pretty quickly, or spend a lot of time on, let's say, step 3 to really pound it out and define it. So when someone's working with you, I mean, are you finding that it really varies according to the individual?
It does. So it's about a 3-month-long program if they're going weekly. But sometimes, like, I have clients and we just get stuck somewhere because, I show up with my tools, but it's a matter of a client's responsibility to really put towards the action and the steps they need to take to get there. So we're I've had clients where I've had the same conversation every week because they haven't moved forward. So it's on them to move forward, but I'm here to support as much as I can.
Yeah. Now, I would think that okay, what you do is really unusual, and so it's
Okay.
not in the normal realm of okay, this is a wellness type program, yet relationships are at the core of our wellness. And would you agree with that?
Yeah, definitely. It's very funny because I'll bring in clients and they'll be like, well, I hired you to help me with relationship, but we're talking about their career because relationship, if things are not happening in a relationship, there is a reason for it and it's usually connected to other areas of your life.
Wow. So this really focusing on it when we admit that we have a problem, because, this is not something that is out there a lot, but when we admit it, it's going to help us with our relationships at work, the stress that can go on, because, I mean, if you're in this struggle, the stress level has to be really high. And it's going to help with you personally, socially, psychologically, physically, a lot of different areas. So kudos to you for all of that.
Well, thank you. Uh,
So
yeah, it's a lot of fun. I mean, I have clients, if they're a lot of men actually, if they're having trouble in dating and relationship and getting attention from women, it actually a lot of times translates into work, and they're struggling there as well. So yeah, we kind of get into the depths of what's going on and fix it.
so when you're working with someone, when they initially come to you, do you offer them an initial consultation and then they commit to working with you for however long it takes, or how does that work?
So I offer a free 30-minute discovery session, and in that I ask you questions about what's holding you back and where you're wanting to go, and just to kind of determine if, I don't take everyone as a client, because I need to make sure that you are ready, or you're coachable and you're ready for some change. Uh, so we, kind of get there and then determine, I mean, I do run some other programs, but this is my primary program. And, we have a conversation to determine what will work best for them in terms of their healing process.
Okay. Remember me saying that time flies fast on this? It's amazing how we get into it.
It
But
sure
this
does.
But what I love about what you're doing, Karly, is that this really is bringing in a whole different degree of wellness to the You Define Wellness Plan. And so I really appreciate you being one of our providers on it. Um, what would you like to add? Because I know you do so much and involved in so many different activities. And I think you have an event coming up soon, too. So what would you like to add?
I do. Well, as I mentioned earlier in the call, that things were going to start changing. I will still run my Finding Love program because it's the core of what I do, and I really love it when I get that text saying I met someone. But I'm actually starting a movement. I've been doing some research for my second book called Anatomy of a Bad Boy: How to Be the Nice Guy and Still Get the Girl. And notice that we have a bit of a problem going on in this country at the moment, where we've had this increase of women who are taking on the world. And don't get me wrong, that's great. But if they're taking it on the way I did, which I'm guessing a lot are, is they're going to find themselves exhausted, burnt out, not willing to receive, and just getting into a place where you don't want to live anymore. Because life has just gotten too hard. So I'm starting a movement. It's called God is Awakened, Ignite the Power Within. And we're taking it actually to other cities next year, but we're launching here in Denver. And it's all about having a woman go from that tired, burnt out, independent woman to a woman who is more expansive and has really gotten in touch with her inner goddess and can live an expansive, flourishing life because of it.
Awesome. I'm just making a couple of quick notes real quick because I want to make sure that we put that on our tags when we
Yes.
post this on YouTube. But what I'd like to do right now is share with everyone your contact information. So I encourage you to get in touch with Karly if any of what we've talked about resonates with you and you want to learn more about how to bring additional love into your life and improve your relationships, and particularly this Goddess Awakened program that she has coming up here. But feel free to reach out and contact her directly. And Karly, thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate it, and I am just so excited that you're part of our plan.
I love it. This